Hi, I'm Alice Oseman. I am the creator of the Heartstopper series. My pronouns are she, they, and I am a person with curly hair and I'm wearing a pink jacket. Heartstopper is the story of Nick and Charlie, who are two boys who meet at an all-boys grammar school, and they very quickly become friends. Charlie is openly gay, he's a little bit of a nerd, a bit of an overthinker, while Nick is a popular rugby lad who thinks he's straight, but some romantic feelings start blossoming between them, and the series explores their blossoming relationship. Heartstopper is an LGBTQ+ YA graphic novel series that I started way back in 2016 as a webcomic, and over the past few years it's been published. There are now 4 volumes of Heartstopper, and this year in 2022 Heartstopper has been released as a Netflix TV show. There are also 2 Heartstopper books upcoming. We've got the Heartstopper Yearbook, which is coming out in October 2022, and Volume 5, which is coming out in 2023. When I was originally planning Heartstopper, I thought I was going to write it as a novel, like I have done before, but I don't think Nick and Charlie's story fits into a traditional arc of a novel. It doesn't have like the beginning, middle and end that you get in a regular novel. It's more just like episodes of things that happen to them in their lives. So it suited a serialized story, an episodic story, which is exactly what you do in a webcomic. And I really love drawing. I always have, and I'd always known that I wanted to create a comic one day. So this was the perfect opportunity to use my drawing skills as well as my writing skills, and so I decided to make Heartstopper into a comic. In one word, I would say joyful. It is impossible to choose my favourite supporting character in Heartstopper. I absolutely love all of them, and they all bring something a little bit different to the story, and they're all so much fun to write. Yeah, it was really important to have a diverse range of queer experiences in Heartstopper. It's not just Nick and Charlie's story. There are lots of different characters all on the LGBTQ+ spectrum. I think it's really important for people to be able to see themselves in books, and for that reason I wanted there to be lots of different kinds of experiences. And one of the most important things about Heartstopper is that it's got a big queer friendship group at the centre of it all, and that's something that we should all celebrate. There are lots of crossovers between many of my books. For example, Alid, who is a character in Heartstopper, actually originated in his own book called Radio Silence, where he's one of the main characters. I don't think I set out to do this like really deliberately. I just suddenly get an idea to include different characters in different books if they fit in. Like sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes it's really fun to just put a little, reference, a little Easter egg for readers to find. So if you spot a little Easter egg in one of my books, I hope it makes you happy, because it makes me happy. No, I don't think I coined the word Osemanverse. I think it was fans and readers online, like on Twitter and Tumblr, who came up with the word. It's brilliant. I feel like we all use it now. I love it. I've been most surprised just by how far Heartstopper has come. It's gone from being literally just a passion project that I was doing on the side for free to literally a Netflix show, which is just mind-blowing, and not something that I ever thought it would achieve. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. I never look at fan fiction of my works. I think it's a very bad idea for an author to look at the fan fiction of their own works, because that's like readers' space for them to do whatever they want and explore whatever they want in their writing. But fan art, I absolutely love seeing fan art. It's just so amazing. For fan fiction as well, it's so amazing for people to be inspired by something that I've made and be inspired to create something of their own. Yeah, it's really, really special, and there's so many talented people out there. I do indeed have a Heartstopper playlist that I started way back when I was first making the comic on Spotify. One of my favourite songs on there is Everywhere by Fleetwood Mac. I really associate that song with Nick and Charlie's story. But now there's also a official Heartstopper mixtape from the TV show, which is made by Netflix, which includes Colours of You by Baby Queen, which is the song that Baby Queen wrote specifically for the show, all about Nick's journey in figuring out his sexuality, which is so amazing. So yeah, you can check out both of those on Spotify. Obviously, getting published at 17 was a really mind-blowing experience. Not something that I really thought was ever going to happen that quickly. And the book that I got published, Solitaire, was something that I wrote when I was at school, just for fun. And I just hoped, you know, I put it out there in the hope that maybe there was a tiny chance it would get picked up. And it did. Yeah, it was a really intense, an amazing experience, and I would never ever change that for the world. Now when I look back, I do see a lot of the flaws in my writing, which is probably a good sign because it means that I've actually developed as a writer and become a better writer. But yeah, Solitaire has such a special place in my heart, and it always will. I am a big fan of friends to lovers in my romance stories, which is probably quite obvious given what happens in Heartstopper. But there's something so special about people becoming just really, really good friends, or already being really good friends and then falling in love. I think that is the best. I had been writing and drawing throughout my entire life. Those were always my favourite hobbies, even from when I was really little. And when I got to being in my teens, I really couldn't picture myself doing any other kind of job other than creating stories. So I feel very lucky that this is my job now and I get to do this every day. I think I write pretty much all over the place. I always in my house. I'm not the sort of person who can go to a cafe and work, but I write on the sofa or in my office or in bed. But when I'm drawing, I usually have to be sat at a desk, back upright, just in, you know, with my tablet in front of me. Otherwise I will just cause myself so much pain. My top tip for whatever kind of story you're creating is to make something that you really care about, that just makes you so excited to start working on it every day because you absolutely love it. Don't worry about like what books are selling or like what stories are popular right now. Just focus on writing something that brings you joy, and that passion will shine through in your story. I start by scripting the graphic novel. I usually write it out a few scenes in advance of when I'm drawing it. And then once I've got a script, then I can draw it. I try and draw one page every day, which sometimes is a bit of a struggle, but yeah. One of my favourite comic creators is Tilly Walden, who creates these beautiful graphic novels mostly for young adults that feature lots of LGBTQ+ characters, and they're just really, really beautiful and kind of subtle and almost a little bit minimalistic, but they're just really, really stunning, and I'd highly recommend all of her books. And I'd also recommend a webcomic artist called Marzoids, and they are a webcomic creator of a comic called Long Exposure, which is one of my favourite webcomics ever. I am not very good at relaxing or switching off from projects, but when I can force myself to relax, I like to watch TV and films. I like to play video games or just hang out with my friends and family. One thing that I really, really love to do actually is go to the cinema, because it's like you just completely shut off from the world. You can't look at your phone. It's dark. You're literally forced to just do nothing but watch a film. I love doing that. I'm a big fan of a YouTube series called BuzzFeed Unsolved, which is basically these two guys talking about like unsolved crimes and also supernatural things. They just have the most hilarious dynamic, and yeah, I could watch that for hours on end. My favourite games ever are the Pokemon games. I've been a player of Pokemon games ever since the very first one, I think, which was Pokemon Red, which I got, I think, when I was 6, and I'm now 27, and I still always get the newest Pokemon game. They're my faves, yeah. My favourite new artist of the past year is Pink Pantheress. I'm literally obsessed with anything she releases. Yeah. Best album of 2021. My favourite movie of all time is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It just makes me so happy because it's so like bright and funny and like weird and silly, and it's got musical numbers and the costumes are all hilarious. Yeah, I'm just obsessed with it. I feel like Tumblr is one of the only places on the internet that does not cause me stress, because it's just people posting memes and like GIFs, and there's no really serious conversations going on, and it's one of the calmer places on the internet, I think. You should read Heartstopper if you want just a series that's gonna bring you some queer joy for a few hours, a little bit of escape into this lovely romance and these adorable friendships that will hopefully just make you smile and brighten your day.
Věděli jste, že nejdelší existující věta v knize je dlouhá přes 800 lidí, 800 slov? Najdete ji v Bídnících od Viktora Iga. A já nevím jak vy, ale já bych usnula ještě před půlkou.